what happened on Black Friday, April 15th, 2011? How were you? Were you given a phone call ahead of time, being told what was going to happen, or did you have an idea what was going to happen?
I remember it like it was yesterday. Howard and Tom Dwan were on a ICO mission with the troops. 2011, I think it's called IOS, whatever it is, where you visit the troops.
Sure.
And the Black Friday came down. He called me and says, "This is really bad, Mike." I'm like, okay. And then I talked to Ray Batari, and everything's okay. They froze everyone's money. We still have the European map market. We're all fine. Don't worry about anything. And then on the 12th, I had to fly to London to film Late Night Poker. And we're getting ready to film, and all of a sudden they stop. Nothing going on. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, the check for the TV production company bounced. And I'm like, how much is it for? And they're like, well, for the whole production is like 1.2 million. And I'm like,
wow,
well, how in the fuck can it bounce? I'm like, the company's raking 2.5 million a day, between, and they were putting out disbursements where like 10 people were getting like $1 million a month. So where the fuck's 1.2 million, right? I was like, something's wrong. There's a miscalc. Something's wrong. Forget the assets they froze online, but they still had a bank account with millions in it, right? So they go to film, and finally they get half of it for 600,000 or whatever. A check through that went through whatever, and we film like 2 episodes, right? So I filmed the 2 episodes. I go home. I find out after I left, they canceled the rest of the episodes because the other check bounced and they had no money. And I'm like,
wow.
I go and find out, of course, years later, the CEO stole 580 million. The processing guy stole 150 million, and we had no money. You know what I'm saying? We had like 60 million in the bank or something like that. That was players' money. And I'm just like, I don't understand how, when the company got so big, they didn't hire a CEO for 2-3 million a year to be on top of things. I mean, Ray Battar thought he knew it all, but he was a fucking thief and a piece of shit. And, it destroyed my life. Do
you forgive Howard Lederer and Chris Ferguson for their involvement?
I forgive Chris. I don't believe Chris had a clue what was going on, even though he was in on all the meetings. I think he was being lied to by Howard and Ray. All Chris wanted to do is play poker. Yeah, he was the biggest shareholder. Yes, he got the most money, but he wasn't in the day-to-day operations. Unless there was some major decision, they would call Chris. You know what I'm saying? So it was Howard and Ray involved with everything. And even when Howard said, well, I'm retiring, Ray's running the business, I have nothing to do with that. That was a lie. Okay. The bottom line is his marriage was in trouble. He had to come back from Ireland, and or he was going to get a divorce. He came back from Ireland, and he was still running day-to-day operations with Ray from Las Vegas. Okay. So all that shit, I was retired. It was just to protect his ass. Okay. In case the government or something came after him for running an illegal, you know what I'm saying? So he'd be like, well, I'm not involved. I live here. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing that to protect himself. And, every time I had a meeting with my agent and him, it was always Howard, me, and Ray on the phone with my agent, and it was always calling from the house. And the truth of the matter is they screwed me for a lot of money, probably around $4 million. And their answer to me is why I didn't get the money that my contract, said, is because we put $500 million away in case we lose the U.S. market and make sure you don't have to ever work the rest of your life. And I believe them. And that was all a fucking lie. You know what I'm saying? A complete fucking lie. And everything they told me was a lie. And a year before this happened, I was like bad-mouthing them a lot because I wasn't getting my raise to where I was supposed to be getting based on the revenue of the company. And the bottom line is they're all living great lives, and I was living a horrible life, but I'm doing better now. But
glad you're doing better. On a happy note, when you did the show High Stakes Poker, how much fun was that show?